I've been up all night again for the second time this week already. Insomnia is absolutely bending me over. Now that I've turned 31, all of a sudden I've unlocked the superpower of insomnia. And while I've been up, I've just been digesting things, learning things about like aliens and geodes because of like the life on Mars rock. And while I was perusing that, I saw the breaking news that they caught the man responsible for the assassination of Charlie Kirk. This is 22-year-old Tyler Robinson, and I'm pretty sure they actually got the shooter this time. In the beginning, there was a lot of hoopla because they brought in like two octogenarians claiming that it could be the shooter. It wasn't. This time, though, they absolutely got the right guy. He is definitely the shooter. He was turned in by his father. I'm pretty confident I don't need to explain what happened. I imagine all of you are familiar with it by now, but just in case, Charlie Kirk was on a college campus in Utah where he was inviting the audience to debate him on a variety of topics. And while doing that, he was shot in the neck and he died. It is fucking terrible. The videos are sickening. They are very gruesome. I don't recommend watching them. The gunman, now ID'd as Tyler Robinson, was positioned roughly like 200 yards away on top of a building, and he escaped for a little while. He jumped off the building. We have footage of all of this. I had planned on showing you some of the footage of Tyler Robinson, running away with the rifle and everything, but I guess it's worth mentioning why I'm not. I actually made this video like 3 or so hours ago, and when I finished rendering it, I went to my channel to find out I got a copyright strike from a news agency for using some of their clips when going over the topic of that doctor that would walk around his office butt-ass naked for a long time, had even ejaculated on a patient/employee, even called himself the Naked Doctor. I was covering that fucking wacko, and I used some of that news footage and got struck for it today. So I don't know if I'm allowed to use news footage here, so I'm going to refrain from showing any clips when talking about everything in regards to the Charlie Kirk assassination, because I want to make sure this video doesn't get taken down. I think this is something very important and something that I really want to talk about. Anyway, Tyler Robinson's father alerted authorities that he believed his son was the shooter they were looking for, and obviously the investigators followed up. They investigated and found sufficient evidence to conclude that this could very likely be the person responsible for the assassination of Charlie Kirk. They also found 4 bullet casings that were engraved with messages on them. So the one fired casing read, "Notices bulges, OWO, what's this?" Which is a furry meme. It's like one of those old, like, Tumblr furry memes, I think, about, like, nuzzles you rar, that kind of shit. He had other messages on the other casings, the ones that were unfired. So one of them said, "Hey, fascist, catch," and then had up arrow, right arrow, and then down arrow 3 times, which people were quick to pick up on as a Helldivers reference. Another one said, "Oh, Bella Ciao, Bella Ciao, Bella Ciao," which is apparently a reference to an Italian anti-fascist song. And then finally another one said, "If you read this, you are gay, LMAO." I think these engravings paint a pretty clear picture of a fucking cringe loser. This is a lunatic. This is a maniac. But according to those close to him, he wasn't like politically active or anything until recently, which I think sounds right. Politics has become turbocharged over just the last handful of years to the point where people can go from like not really being involved or only dipping their toes in to being just full-blown fucking radicalized and just, off their rocker, off their fucking gourd in politics. Like it is. Everything is just accelerating at such a scary, alarming rate. Something else worth mentioning here, the authorities were claiming that Tyler was communicating via Discord about this. However, Discord is coming out and saying that it found no evidence that the suspect planned the shooting on its platform or promoted violence. It was apparently reported by Utah Governor Spencer Cox that The shooter's roommate showed investigators Discord conversations with someone listed as Tyler, stating a need to retrieve a rifle from a drop point, leaving the rifle in a bush, watching the area where the rifle was left, and having left it wrapped up in a towel. But Discord saying they can't find those messages that were referenced in that reporting. So that one is still a little shaky as of me making this video, but I thought it was worth mentioning here. Now, already outside of the obvious major conversation that's been being had here about political violence, there is now like another separate conversation that's starting to break through because of the engravings on the ammo casing, because Helldivers was referenced. So now a lot of people are pointing the finger at video games, which is something that has historically happened in the past with people immediately trying to scapegoat video games as like the catalyst for a tragedy. This is a path that's been walked hundreds of times before, and I'm sure it'll be walked hundreds of times again. Do I think Helldivers had any role to play in this monster carrying out this assassination on Charlie Kirk? No, I don't. I don't think video games are ever really to blame. Anyway, as of now, there's been a lot of misinformation flooding around with like different Tyler Robinsons, and also like people making claims about whether he's a Democrat or a Republican, which is obviously a big subject here considering the motive being political. Now, with all the available information about what they found as well as like where he's potentially been, to me it seems like he's more left-leaning than right. But nothing is 100% confirmed, and there's so much information it's hard to know for sure. A lot of people are saying since he grew up in a Republican household and there's so many photos of him at a young age around guns, he must be a Republican. But that's not always the case. Kids don't always grow up to be just carbon copies, clones of their parents and their beliefs. Like, yes, they're more inclined to follow those beliefs, but it's not always how it works out. And according to people closest to him, he got much more political over the last couple years, so anything could have changed. There's no telling for sure. But this definitely does seem to be a politically motivated assassination, which, if you ask me, is a horrible thing. And my heart breaks for the family that is now without a father. I think it is bad. I know, classic Charles with a grass is green take, but I also want to mention something that a lot of people kept saying, I'm sure you've seen it in the comment section or on streams or elsewhere, about how I'm dodging this topic and refusing to speak on it. And people even go as far as to say that I am endorsing political violence by not making a video on it, which I find to just be unhinged. I find that to be so fucking twisted. Especially considering it's not like I've been shy on this subject. Since it happened, I have covered it extensively during streams. I've been mainly gaming, because I've been in such a fucking huge gaming arc in my life right now, but I have still talked about it a lot. And I said from day one, I planned on making a video once the shooter was caught, because I was very confident the shooter would be apprehended pretty quickly. Like, they had a substantial amount of footage showing him on the roof, jumping off the roof, even wandering through the neighborhoods. They even had pretty clear photos that they released to the public that showed a lot of this guy's face. So I was pretty certain that they were going to either catch him pretty quickly, track him down, and get them themselves, or, what ended up happening, someone would recognize him and turn him in. So I wanted to wait for that to happen so that way I can make a video covering the entire situation here, because I find it to be such a big deal. But since I was mainly talking about it on streams instead of in a video, which, by the way, if I did do like a video when it happened, a follow-up video, and then this video, people would accuse me of milking a tragedy. So it's kind of like damned if you do, damned if you don't. But because I was talking about it on streams, people accused me of trying to hide it there. Basically saying that doesn't count, it only matters if you make a video on it. So let me be crystal clear here. I think the assassination of Charlie Kirk, everything that happened here is fucking horrible. I think it is horrific, awful. I think it is terrible. And I'm aware that some people have been celebrating this. I find that to be fucking disgusting. Now, as I said on stream, I don't know much about Charlie Kirk. And I've seen a lot of people saying that now when like giving their take on this, and I think a lot of them are just making that shit up because they don't want to get like too deep into the nitty-gritty or anything. But truly, I have been very offline over the last year and some change, so I haven't seen a whole lot of Charlie Kirk. The things I know about him come through like adjacent discussions, like with Epstein files or South Park. Of course, after all this happened, I did see a bunch of the clips that people were tossing around from like his talks or from debates, and it's things I don't agree with for sure. But even still, what happened here is bad. Even though I didn't agree with him from all of the things I've seen, it still doesn't change the way I feel about this being a horrifying, terrible thing that happened to him. I think that's very standard. I know people are going to find that to be just, yep, grass is green take from Charlie, but it's the truth. It's how I feel. Political violence or violence of any kind like this, I think, is just fucking unacceptable, and it's extremely scary. Anyway, just wanted to yap about this a bit. That's it. See ya. Oh, I saw fucking crazy, man. Yeah, I finally went to sleep last night. I think I got 13 hours of sleep. And then I looked up the UFO stuff, and then Matt texted me if I heard about the Charlie Kirk thing. I had no idea what he was talking about. Immediately, first thing on Twitter is that video clip. It was fucking crazy. That was gruesome. Yeah, it was unbelievable day. Jesus. I don't know, Kilroy. It's scary out there, though. It's fucking terrifying out there. You're doing Act 3 for Silksong? Yep, I'm basically 100%ing the game. It'll go up on the gaming channel. They haven't caught the guy either. Has to be ex-military to hit a shot like that. Yeah, so I saw they put two old guys in handcuffs. Obviously, neither one of them is the shooter. I saw another clip of someone on a rooftop prone, and you can actually see him run up on the rooftop. It is definitely not an old guy, but I don't think it's like ex-military or anything. So that, like, he was like prone 100-ish yards away, it looked like from the video. But I don't think it's like some ex-military guy or anything. It was 200 yards. Was it 200? I don't know the exact distance, but yeah. News said 200. Oh, I didn't see that follow-up then. I just saw the clips of the actual shooter. He was dressed in all black on top of that building, like directly, like adjacent, or not adjacent, directly like in front, way in the back. That shit was crazy, Toten. Oh, I think that's Diabolical, first name. 100%. I think that's terrible. It was 200 with a 308. Yeah, I've seen a lot of debate on the caliber. I saw they arrested some guy, like an old guy with a 22 long neck or something. It wasn't that guy, I'll tell you right now. That was not a 22. It seems like they're just arresting any old guy right now. But it definitely was not that guy, I'll tell you that. I don't know about a 308. Maybe a 308. But it definitely wasn't a 22. I don't think it was a 22 either. Oh, it's not about think, I know. Everybody who knows guns at all knows that was not a 22. They definitely just got another random guy. That was the wrong guy. It was not a 22. I was talking to my friend who said it looks like 5.56. I mean, maybe. It could be. I think the leading theory is 308. Not that that, like, helps catch the shooter or anything, but fucking unreal. Did you know anything about Charlie Kirk before this? Not really. I'd seen, like, bits and pieces over the, like, last year or so, but since I haven't been online as much, I didn't see much. I know it's South Park parodied him a lot, so I think I heard mainly because of that, but outside of that, not really. Fucking awful, though, man. Yeah, hopefully they catch the guy. I don't know how they're going to, but hopefully they do. Because right now it seems like they're just arresting a bunch of, like, random old guys. Patel posted on Twitter that they arrested someone tonight at 6:30. That's the one I saw, right? That was the guy with the 22, wasn't it? Oh, look. I'm pretty sure that was the old guy with the 22. Oh no, this is from 2 hours ago. Subject in custody has... Oh, never mind. Subject in custody has been released after an interrogation. It was the 22 guy. Yeah. So it was him. It's the wrong guy. Speculation, it's an inside job. Thoughts? I don't think so. I know a lot of people are talking about, like, how hard the shot must have been to hit. Kind of, but not really. Like, I don't think that's where he was aiming. I was talking to a buddy of mine about this for the last, or not for the last, but like an hour or two ago, and we were talking about it for a while. It was a stationary target. He was lined up, like, front, like, directly in front of him, back, and I doubt that's where he was aiming. He was probably aiming for, like, a headshot, and bullet just dropped. He probably didn't zero it for the distance that he was at, and bullet probably dropped. I don't think it was a professional. I think it was just an absolute crazed maniac. But I guess we'll see. Hopefully they catch the person. It's fucking scary. Oh, you mean on the side view, Toten? Yeah. Will you do a video on it? Probably not. Maybe once they catch the shooter, but in the meantime, probably not. That's just some heartbreaking shit. Usually the news stuff I cover is wackier. Or I guess, like, in the Epstein case. But mainly it's just wacky shit. This one is just actually diabolical.